to Set It Off After Dark, our live show here on Thursday night. It is September 18th, day of our Lord 2025. I got my boy Will here, and we are here taking your questions on tonight's Mailbag show. So if you have any questions for us tonight, anything to do with college football, heck, anything about life, we are here for you tonight. We got you for about an hour and a half tonight. All right, just drop whatever you want in the comments. It can literally be about anything. We'd like to keep the college football and talking a little bit about week 4. We're going to be previewing some games. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff tonight. So make sure you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe, share this video, post it on Facebook, do whatever you got to do to get our peoples out here, you know? So, Will, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. This is an interesting little concept. We had a live show after week two's games. We were kind of working out the kinks, but it's cool to see how we've got like a little more sophisticated product now. I've got the live stream actually pulled up on my computer over here. You got some nice graphics. You got our logo on the screen. I mean, it's really cool. And I'm like looking forward to this. You know, we've never done a mailbag show. I'm going to be interested to see what kind of questions roll in. And week 4, interesting slate coming up. Not as many big time, really interesting matchups like last week, but there are still some pretty consequential games, and looking forward to dig deeper into some of those.
Yeah, week 4 has the week 2 kind of vibes to it. Kind of underwhelming, but we saw a lot of things happening in week 2 that we did not expect. We might do a little upset preview type thing, talking about a couple games, like what's the panic meter for some of these teams that are going out here this week. One that comes to mind right off the bat is Ole Miss and Tulane. It just got announced that Ole Miss's quarterback's going to be out, so that is going to be an interesting matchup, man. I'm a big John Summerall guy, big Tulane fan. I'm super excited to watch this game. Last year they played at Tulane, which was kind of crazy, but this year they're in Oxford, and we still kind of. I mean, I don't know if you feel the same way, Will, but I still have no clue what Ole Miss is going to be this year. I mean, they had the win against Kentucky. They've looked good in all their other games, but it's like until they kind of get tested, it's really like I don't know what the heck's Ole Miss doing this year.
Yeah, in recent years, we've seen Kentucky, we've seen Arkansas be some of the bottom tier programs in the SEC. And Ole Miss, they were in kind of some dogfights with both of those teams the last couple weeks. Now they move out SEC playing an Ole Miss team that I'm looking at their schedule. They are not afraid of scheduling some Power 4 competition. They played Northwestern, blew them out. They played Duke, beat them. Somehow they've had both those games at home, so good for Tulane and their scheduling. They seem to get these power conference teams at home. But this time they do have to go to Ole Miss, take on Hotty Toddy. That I agree. Like think about the upset. Tulane could be a contender for that G5 playoff spot. But I mean, I think Ole Miss is probably going to get this one.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those weird games, man. I like Tulane and I like what they're doing, but man, it's just hard for me to see Ole Miss dropping this game at home, especially maybe if it was on the road. But I mean, this line is 12 and a half. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you putting Ole Miss on upset alert this weekend? 10 being the highest.
Mm, I'll probably go with a 5.
A 5?
Kind of
All
down the
right.
middle, right?
I'm gonna go a little bit higher just because I like Tulane a lot. I really think Tulane is gonna give them a competitive game. Like I don't think Ole Miss is gonna run in here and just dominate this football game. But like I really think Tulane can hang in there, honestly, with Ole Miss. So I'm interested to see that thing. But if you guys have any questions, man, let us know in the chat. We're going to be answering all of your questions tonight. So if you have anything coming up this weekend, talking about LSU, talking about South Carolina, talking about anybody really, we're going to be previewing a lot of the games throughout the show. So if we talk about anything and you have a comment or question about anything that we're talking about, we'll get to it. Just let us know in the live chat, and make sure you're sharing this on Facebook and posting it to where all your friends can see. And we'll continue go on with the show. But another
Yeah,
game I think we need to talk about, Will, is your team and how you're feeling. We got news. All right, breaking news on the Set It Off After Dark show. All right, if you missed it, Pete Thamel just said that Lenore Sellers upgraded to probable, which means he's probably playing. He's practiced all week. Well, I don't think it was really much of a doubt that he was going to play. Once I found out that he was practicing, it kind of felt like we were leaning towards playing here. But how are you feeling now with the Cox going on the road to Columbia for what do they call this thing again?
I think it's the Mayor's Cup because they're both in Columbia,
Big
right?
big deal around these
Yeah,
parts. Big deal.
it's become a rivalry in the last few years, even though they really had never played until
Missouri's
Missouri
kind of
joined
been
conference.
dominating this rivalry though, haven't they?
Yeah,
Up until
Missouri
last
was
year.
riding a huge winning streak. I mean, I think it was like 2018 was the last time South Carolina won. Missouri won all those years in a row. And then South Carolina finally broke through last year with that crazy finish where he had all those lead changes in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was that was like the game I think for a lot of South Carolina fans that was like, "Oh, like we're actually really good and like we have a chance to make the playoffs." Like that's what I felt after watching the South Carolina Missouri game last year. Is that the vibe that I kind of got from a lot of South Carolina fans, but with Lenora Sellers playing, do you feel any better about this game than I mean, obviously you feel better because you have your star quarterback, but as the Gamecocks as a whole, how are you feeling about South Carolina after what we watched last week? How we're feeling. This is not an easy game. They come in this thing as a 10-point underdog on the road at Missouri. So I mean, not an ideal spot for Shane Beamer, but we've seen him in these situations before, where everybody kind of counts him out and then they sneak up on you.
Yeah, the thing about South Carolina football is you see them lose games you don't think they're going to lose, and then you see them win games you don't think they're going to win. I don't really know what to expect. Having Lenora Sellers playing, that would give me a little more comfort because that second half was pretty rough after he went out last week. I watched that in person. And for the folks who didn't watch our preview show or our recap show, excuse me, from last week's game, might want to go back and watch that. You'll see how sad I was. My mood has improved a little bit. You know, time heals all wounds. Is that the saying? I think I'm wearing my Carolina shirt again. I'm ready to get hurt again, as Michael Scott says. I don't know. I could easily see them getting blown out by this Missouri team, but you never know with South Carolina. I've seen them look pathetic and then turn around and look incredible the next week. You look at Old Dominion game last year. What was that? Then they go blow out Kentucky the next week. You can also look at the Ole Miss game last year. They got blown out, and then after that they played Alabama close on the road, and then had a 6-game winning streak. So South Carolina has these tendencies. Again, 2022, Florida, they get blown out there. Then they blow out Tennessee, 2 top 10 wins to end the year. So you just never know. South Carolina last week was ugly, but this could be the team taking a step, turning it around, and going on the road, taking down a ranked Missouri team. Would do that for sure. But this game is really going to say a lot about where the Gamecock season goes from here, no doubt.
Yeah, I have fears. Will I have a lot of fears going into this game as South Carolina because you look at the rest of the schedule and yeah, you play Kentucky, and then you kind of get a little break there. But the October part of the schedule, if you're sitting here with two
Brutal.
losses going into October and you're a South Carolina fan, it really feels like this team's going to be like pushing it for like bowl eligibility, like legit. Like I mean, I don't mean that to disrespect. It's just the nature of the beast in the SEC, and this league will swallow you up if you give teams an inch. They're going to take them out, and that's probably the best way to describe this league is that if you show that you have any weakness, you're seeing it with Florida. There's no way. I don't think Florida's a terrible team, but I mean these schedules just eat you alive, man. If you're not playing your best football on any given Saturday, you can get beat by anybody in this league. Just ask Ole Miss. I mean, they cost themselves a playoff shot last year. They lose to Kentucky. Kentucky's literally only SEC win of last year. So
Yep, yep. Uh,
Looking
yeah,
at the
you're not wrong though. Once we get into October, it's a rough slate. You start off with going to LSU, then you got uh, who's next? Oklahoma, who's looking good. You got Alabama, you got Ole Miss, Texas A&M. It you just have like I think five ranked teams in a row. It's a gauntlet.
it is. It's not fun times. Like nobody is looking at that schedule like, especially if you lose. Like, right? You're like it goes from like, oh, we're excited to play all these teams to like, oh God, we have to play all of these teams, and we are where we are, kind of thing. So, looking at week 4 though, Will, outside of the South Carolina game, because I know you're biased, all right, and what is the game that you're looking forward to most out of this weekend?
Let me take a look at this little schedule, but I do have one in mind off the top of my head. You have the Purdue Boilermakers heading
Jesus
on the road.
Christ.
What?
Jesus Christ. Never mind. Just keep going, man.
Yeah, you have the Purdue Boilermakers going on the road to take on a Notre Dame team that hasn't won a game. And Purdue, the experts were like, well, USC, they're going to beat them by at least 21 points. Purdue didn't let it get that ugly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
In-state
And they have the
rivals.
line at this game at 25.5 in favor of Notre Dame right now. I think it'll be a lot closer than that, certainly. That's easy money, in my opinion, but I'm not going to bet the game, so. But
Listen, that's a big in-state rivalry. All right,
it is an in-state rivalry. You're right.
you can't deny the fact that's a big deal in the state of Indiana, and Purdue's going to be coming with it. They're going to be doing their thing over there, and I mean, I'm not it. I listen. I like Purdue to cover. All right, they're not going to win. All right, I don't think they're going to win at all. But I do think they're going to cover. I mean, it's like 25 and a half. I feel like they got that. Like Notre Dame has looked good, but they've still lost 2 games in a row, and they're probably not like super excited to play Purdue. And it could be one of those trap games, but I definitely have no like zero on the upset meter as far as Purdue winning this thing outright. Yeah, there's no shot that Purdue's winning this football game.
I'd give it a 5. I'm going to go middle of the road again. But Notre Dame, because they are 0-2 and they cannot afford to lose another game the rest of the year, it kind of feels that way, right? So, yeah, they're probably going to be inspired. They get them at home. So, as much as I'm a believer in the Boilermakers, I don't know. I think they're going to lose.
You know what
Probably.
game that I'm looking forward to most is a game that I feel like nobody's talking about it. Everybody's kind of talking about Texas Tech, Utah, like
Mhm.
even Michigan and Nebraska. But there's a
Mhm.
Big Ten game between two top 20 teams, and that's Illinois going on the road to Indiana this week.
Oh, yeah.
And
How could we forget that?
nobody is talking about it. It is wild. I mean, you have a team last year in Illinois that won 10 games. All right, you have the playoff representative from the Big Ten last year in Indiana. I mean, and these two states are right next to each other. This is a big deal. Like, this is a huge game in the Big Ten. And I just feel like it's getting overshadowed by the Michigan Nebraska game. But I'm super excited to watch this game. Right now, Indiana is a 6.5 point favorite at home against Illinois. I feel like that number is a little high. I really like Illinois. I know you have a vendetta against Illinois, but I mean, you can't really be mad. I mean, Brett Bielema is a hard guy not to like, Will.
Hell, I didn't like him during that bowl game last year. Whatever game the Gamecocks played in. I know it was the Citrus Bowl, right? And it had some Cheez-It sponsor probably. But anyway, I didn't like that as a Carolina fan. But using my head here, I don't know. I'm feeling like Illinois. I'm leaning their direction to win the game. Let me look at Indiana's schedule here. They did say they took that SEC non-conference schedule, right? And they
Hmm.
did play a tough Old Dominion team. I mean, you saw what they did to Virginia Tech, right? They
Do you
played
know? Do you
Kennesaw
know
State.
Vanderbilt? Did you know
Indiana.
Vanderbilt has the same amount of ranked road wins as the entire Big Ten, or amount
Uh,
of ranked wins total? Ranked wins total.
Wow.
Ohio State is the only team with a ranked win right now in the Big Ten. So hats off to that sorry conference.
Big Ten scheduling. Good
Big
job.
Ten scheduling at its finest right there. A bunch of James Madison's, Abilene Christians on that schedule. I think I seen Penn State play Nevada. So that's a big time matchup, if we're talking 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's
But
another conversation. Like Penn State's number 2. What have they done to earn that ranking? They
I
played
mean, the
3
line the line came out today in like an early line for the Oregon game, which is I think next week,
next week.
and they're 3-point favorites against Oregon, which I mean, you count in the home field. I mean, that's basically at a pick 'em, right? But like, come on, like, how in the heck is Penn State favored? They haven't played nobody. Whatever Oregon's been doing to everybody has just been destroying teams nonstop. So it's like, I mean, if we're talking, I'm a betting man. I'm putting everything I got on Oregon if they give me 3 points. I'm telling you, Will.
That's I mean, I know this is next week, but that's some scheduling that the TV networks did. We're gonna have Alabama, Georgia, and Oregon, Penn State on at the same exact time.
It's
And
ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, I know. And then like with my Carolina rooting interest, they play Kentucky at that time too. So it's gonna be a lot.
Thankfully, I figured it was going to happen, obviously, because Georgia and Alabama are playing, but LSU did get the 3:30 spot that week, so thank God. I mean, it's going to be hot as Hades, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. The weather's been kind of crazy this year. I mean, it really hasn't been that hot, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, getting back to like kind of how we started, the Illinois and Indiana game has huge implications, I think, on the Big Ten. I feel like the winner of this game is like this is the springboard game. Like this is the game. Illinois wins this thing. I feel like they're coasting to a playoff. Indiana has a little bit of a tougher schedule this
Mhm.
year. So they might not be like off to the races, but this is kind of would be like their marquee win to kind of springboard them into having a great season again. I mean, I love Kirk Cinetti and what he does coaching that team and the way he has them playing. I mean, Indiana's better than they've been in the last like 50 years. So, like, mad respect to Kirk. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just love Brett Bielema, man. I think Brett Bielema. I think Illinois is winning this game outright. I think they're gonna go into Indiana, and I think they're gonna beat them. So
Yeah,
upset
it's
alert right here on the Set It Off Network. You heard it first. Illinois is taking down Indiana on Saturday.
must-win game for Indiana, in my opinion, because later on that schedule they've got at Oregon and at Penn State. There is no soft schedule this year for Indiana. And then you look at Illinois' schedule. That back half, the last 5 games, they look like some of the bottom tier programs in the Big Ten. You got Rutgers on there, Maryland, Northwestern, Wisconsin's on there, Washington. They might be good. We'll find out as we go. But Illinois is like real tough games after this. They got USC and Ohio State, but they get both of those teams at home. So if Illinois wins this game, you might could pencil them in for the playoff, honestly, because I don't know if they're going to go worse than 10-2.
Yeah, it'll be tough. They're probably not going to make it to like Indianapolis, but you talking about like I mean, I think the same way about Nebraska, honestly. Like if Nebraska gets through this Michigan game, I mean, really, I mean, they could coast to a 10-2. Really. I mean, honestly, coast to a 10-2, but 27 straight unranked win or ranked losses, I believe. 27 straight losses
Oh,
against AP top 25 teams for Nebraska. Does that change on Saturday, Will? Personally, I think it does. This is the Bussin' Bowl. All right, this is the Bussin' Bowl. Josh Pate's going to be there. The Bussin' Boys are going to be there. It's a huge weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apparently, how are
I
you
would have made
feeling?
this game day
How
or
you
the
feeling
Illinois
about?
Indiana game, but
Yeah, how you feeling about Michigan already playing a tough road game against Oklahoma, going on the road again to face Nebraska? Are we going to see that same Michigan team? Are we going to get a better version? Have they been battle tested enough? I don't know.
well, keep in mind, Sharon Moore is still suspended too for this game. What is that worth? That'll be interesting to see. Nebraska, those fans are craving some good football over there. They always show up every time they have that crazy sellout streak, and it's going to be charged up. This is probably one of the biggest games there in a long, long time. Getting Michigan coming to town as a ranked team. I'm feeling Nebraska just like you in this game, to be honest.
They were on my best bets list. That's going to come out tomorrow. You'll see Nebraska on that thing. We're taking Nebraska money line. All right, we're riding Will Compton and the boys. I mean, he hyped me up. I watched the podcast today, man. I felt the energy. I felt like if not now, when for Nebraska, right? Because it's like we talked about it. Matt Rule's been there a while now. All right, you have this streak hanging over your head. All right, it's time for Nebraska to like announce themselves as being like a real player in the Big Ten again. And I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great game. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the weekend for sure. But yeah, man, I just don't trust Michigan. And like you said, Sharon Moore being out doesn't help their case here. And I mean, I don't know. It's a rough spot for Michigan. I don't think they can go. I mean, this game being at 3:30 kind of might help, the fact that it's not a night game, but Nebraska's going to be up for this game. They've been waiting on this moment. It's can they finally get over the hump? Is the pressure going to be too much? I don't know. I feel like the pressure is going to be a lot for Michigan, so I'm rolling with Nebraska. Like I said, I'm picking Nebraska money line. I will bet her hard-earned dollars on Nebraska this weekend, so don't let me down, Big Red. But kind of taking a little pause here. Hey, if you're watching at this point, we have people watching right now. If you have any questions for me or Will, leave
You
us
see
a
this? We got a
comment.
question. I'm looking at it.
Okay, what's our question? We'll
It's
read it
on
all.
Twitter X. It doesn't really have anything to do with college football, I don't think, unless you're talking concessions. But at Gamecocks HQ is asking, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Um, I don't know. I prefer my hot dogs with no bun. So, um,
Really?
yeah, I mean, I prefer just getting that thing, and doing, whatever you do with a hot dog. I mean, it is what it is. But hey, I mean, if you're out in public, probably prefer to use a bun. You might get if you're at a college football game this weekend and you're eating a hot dog without a bun, you might get some funny looks. But you know what? What you do inside the comfort of your own home is what you. What do you think, Will? You think it's a sandwich? I don't think
Well,
it's a
I'm
sandwich.
not
I
a
think that's BS. I don't. There's no way a hot dog can be a sandwich.
I'm not a typical hot dog eater myself. On the times I do have a hot dog, I'm a bun guy. All right, so you got some
Oh, you're
bread
not just eating a
involved.
raw dog. You're not raw dog in that thing.
No, no, I have it with a bun, and you put a hot dog inside, and I,
I
I need
take the
some
bun. I
condiments
take the
too.
bun and then the hot dog water juice. I dip the bun in the hot dog water juice.
Is that good?
Don't knock it till you try it. All right.
Uh,
I didn't think we
that
were gonna
sounds
get to
nasty.
this.
And I don't want to try it. But you
Okay.
got you got a hot dog bun. You got bread involved, and when I think of a sandwich, it's got two pieces of bread. But think about like a Philly cheesesteak. That's in a hoagie roll kind of thing, right? And that's not two pieces of bread, and we call that a sandwich.
Do
I'm
we
gonna
though?
say
Do they
I'm
call
gonna
it? They
leave
call it a
sandwich
Philly
here.
cheesesteak. They don't call it a sandwich. They don't call it a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. They call it just
Mhm.
a Philly cheesesteak. Everything's
Right.
got its own name, you know?
Yeah.
Like you call a hot dog a hot dog. Like you don't call it a hot dog sandwich. That's so stupid. So dumb.
Yeah, but does it fall in the sandwich group? And then you could talk about like hamburgers too. That's a sandwich, right? Two buns. You
Yeah,
just
that's
call
just
it a hamburger.
yeah, but like I said, I think everything has its place. Like I don't think we should be personally on this show, we respect whatever you want to identify as. Like we don't care. We don't discriminate around here. So if you want to call yourself a hamburger or a hot dog or a Philly cheesesteak, by all means do what you got to do. But
The
like,
audience likes hot dog talk. I think our views are going up.
oh yeah, are we
Yeah.
gonna? We're just gonna stop talking about football in general. We will talk about hot dogs all night. All right. I don't know if you saw my man Chris Philly was in Tennessee this week,
No.
and he was hanging out with Joey Chestnut.
Oh, the hot dog
At
legend.
like why is he at a Tennessee football game? I don't know, but I thought that was dope. Like the fact that you can just see a walking legend. You know, yeah, I mean that's got to be awesome. That had to have been an awesome experience to meet the hot dog champion of the world. Like, Could you? So, Will, if you had to choose between being good at everything or just great at one thing, but that one thing was so great that you were like the best ever at it, would you rather be great at that one thing, even if it was gobbling glizzies for a living?
So I don't get to pick the thing I'm great
No,
at.
you're a glizzy goblin. Right? If you're that's the only thing you're allowed to be good at is sucking on chili dogs.
Uh, I don't know. I think because it's hot dogs. I think I'd just take good at everything. But if it was something else, then like being great at one particular thing, that's really exciting.
That's I don't know, bro. I Joey Chestnut got that clout, man. I don't know how he hasn't fixed his teeth yet. Have you seen his teeth? His teeth are nasty, bro.
Mm.
His teeth are not like you got all. I know he makes money. Like I know he got plenty of money, and he still can't fix his teeth, man. No offense, sorry if Joey, if you're watching this, I don't mean to dog you like that. Like you're a American hero. Right? I grew up wanting to be like you, not
Fourth
exactly
of
like
July
you.
tradition every
Yeah,
year.
not exactly like you because I don't want to be known as a guy who sucks down hot dogs for a living. Um, but it is what it is. So let's kind of get back on the college football thing. Will, granted,
All right.
the hot dog talk after like it's late, man. It's late. It's things are getting kind of wild around here talking about glizzies. So if you have any more questions, I mean, holler at us. I mean, if you have hot dog questions, we'll be happy to answer hot dog questions as well. But I want to talk about Auburn and Oklahoma. So Auburn is a 6.5 point underdog going to Oklahoma. Oklahoma already has a big win against Michigan at home. Auburn has a big road win against Baylor, who I really think is still good. Will I'm still holding on hope for my Big 12 champion prediction, but Auburn has a big win on the road at Baylor. I think that's why this number is kind of shrinking. It shrunk down to 6.5, but I just looked at the Oklahoma injury list, and there's like 50 people on that thing. So it looks
Hmm.
like Oklahoma's going to be out with some starters. That could be a very big concern, and that might cause the line to drop a little bit. At ESPN has it at -7.5 right now, but I really like Oklahoma in this spot. I just don't trust Jackson Dart. I mean, it's just that plain and simple. I don't trust Auburn's offense to score touchdowns against Brent Venables' defense. I think if Auburn wins this football game, it's because they hit on like some really big plays, but I mean, Brent Venables is just going to make you dink and dunk down the field. And then when he gets to you in the red zone, he's going to make you kick field goals. Like, he's not giving up touchdowns once you get inside the 20. So, how you feeling about Auburn? I mean, maybe you're a little higher on them, but I just don't see a way that Auburn comes out of this thing without having serious big play potential. They have the receivers to do it, but man, it just doesn't feel like Brent Venables is going to let that happen with his old quarterback coming to town.
Yeah, that's an interesting storyline too. You have Oklahoma's old quarterback now on the opposing sideline, coming back to Norman. I like the way Mateer looked in that Michigan game a couple weeks ago, and now they get this Auburn team at home, another big home game. So I'm feeling Oklahoma in this one. 7.5 is the current line, like you said. That just goes to show you how confident Vegas is in the Sooners. I'm feeling that way too, honestly.
Yeah, it really feels like this is like a gimme game for Oklahoma. Like this is a big deal for Oklahoma because they win this game, they're going to be undefeated going into the Red River game, and
Hmm.
that's going to be a huge game. You want to talk about box office? Like this is what the SEC had in mind when these two teams joined this conference is what the heck are you going to get out of Texas at this point? Because I mean, Arch Manning does not look very good so far this season. Is he going to be able to figure out by the time that Red River game comes around? Because Oklahoma is going to be battle tested. I mean, you're going to have a win against Michigan and possibly a win against Auburn. Like, I mean, they've been through the ringer, and everybody kind of was talking about John Mateer. And if he goes out there and wins this game, it'll be hard to not back up. All the talk that we heard about him all off season about being the guy who's going to fix this Oklahoma offense.
Yeah, Texas is getting filled up on cupcakes. They don't want to get too full on your dessert. You know, you gotta still eat the main meal. They got another one this week in Sam Houston. So that's 3 cupcakes in a row. They're not going to be too battle tested going into that Oklahoma game, but they will get to go to Florida the week
What
before.
what's your upset meter? 1 to 10 for Auburn pulling the upset on Saturday. What are you giving them?
I'm not confident in it, but I'm gonna do like a 4.
Yeah, I think four is right on the money, man. I honestly feel like there's so many other games that have the potential for upsets, and I just don't feel this one. I feel like Oklahoma's locked in. I honestly, I'm buying the Brent Venables thing, and like I said, the whole Jackson Arnold coming back to Norman. I mean, he hasn't played ridiculously like well. I mean, so it's not like we've seen vast improvement from him. And Oklahoma's going to have a good defense. You always know with Brent Venables, they're going to have a good defense. So I look for them to be, trying to run the ball, and it's going to be hard to run the ball on Brent Venables' defense. But speaking of upsets, Will, all right, another game I want to kind of talk about. All right, DJ Pick Six going down to South Florida this weekend to play the Set It Off rankings #1 team, the Miami Hurricanes, and Carson Beck and Mario Cristobal down there. What do you think about Florida Miami this week? This game before the season started, I mean, what college game day
Blockbuster.
is still technically going to be there, but man, it just lost all of its luster because of what Florida's done the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, hey, I saw somewhere on the internet like this is the first time a 1 and 2 team has been featured on game day since like 2005, and I think only the second time ever. So, how about that? What a choice! But yeah, you're not wrong. It's lost its luster for sure after what Florida's done the last couple weeks. They have a common opponent now in South Florida. We looked at the common opponent thing with Vandy, South Carolina, both
Not
playing
great.
Virginia Tech. So how is playing South Florida in your own building go for both teams? We saw it. We saw Florida lose. We saw Miami just blow the doors off of South Florida. The Hurricanes have got it together. Carson Beck, they're gonna be at home. I mean, you're playing your in-state rival Florida here. How do you not get up for this game? Florida, they're talented. They I said last week they needed to win that game to get their season turned around. They really need to win this week if they're going to have any hope of salvaging this thing. So sure, they might make it a game, but Miami -9.5. I like that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, God, I just don't know what you do if you're Florida, right? Because the most puzzling thing with Florida, right, is they made DJ Lagway throw the ball 50 times last week. 50 times, and he threw 5 interceptions. And I mean, we're talking about an LSU game that was a 10-point game at its best, right? That's what it finished at, a 10-point game. And it was like that midway through the third quarter. Why in the hell do you have a running back in Florida that's averaging 7 yards a carry and you don't run the ball? Why the hell are you throwing the ball 50 times a game with a quarterback that's just throwing the ball to the other team? So is this malpractice from Billy Napier? Is he just like, I'm just going to do it because I trust DJ and we got to get him going? It's like, no, bro, hand the freaking ball off. You have a really good offensive line. So maybe the only way Florida wins this football game, right, which is already very slim. The only way Florida wins this football game on Saturday is if they commit to running the ball. They're going to make this, they got to make it ugly. They got to make it one of those slugfest kind of games. Like the way South Florida beat Florida, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to make Miami kick field goals when they get into the red zone. All right. And Florida is going to have to dominate the time of possession. All right. And commit to running the football. Stop relying on DJ Lagway. All I've heard was you saying that he hasn't been practicing. He hasn't done this. He's been injured. So why the hell is he throwing the ball 50 times a game, Will? And I don't even like Florida, but it was just mind numbing to think like every single time Florida got the ball, they were dropping back to throw just nonstop. And he threw the ball more to LSU than he did to his own team. And that is single-handedly why they lost. Literally, Brian Kelly said in the press conference that Florida was so freaking bad that on offense, their approach was literally just not to let them get back into the game. Like if Florida wants to lose the game for you, let them. And that's exactly what they did. That's
Hmm.
my little Florida rant. You might want to clip that. That might be a good clip um, to post at
So
some
you're
point.
so you're thinking Miami minus 9.5. That's what we're gonna see here.
Oh man, yes, yes. I liked it better at like 7.5, but 9.5. I would still take Miami 100% because I just don't. I think Miami is one of the top. I think Miami is the top team in the country right now, and I don't think it's relatively up for debate. I mean, honestly, I mean they have a huge win against Notre Dame. They have a huge win against South Florida. Like they've really kind of shown why they deserve that spot. The biased AP and the brain numb people that vote on that thing don't have a freaking clue what they're doing. So they still don't have Miami. They have them at like 4, which is ridiculous. But it is what it is. Miami is one of the best teams in the country right now. I don't think anybody would debate that very hard with you. And has Florida quit? That's what it's going to come down to. Has Florida quit? They didn't give up on my man last year. Are they going to give up on him this year? That's to be determined. We'll see how that one goes down there in South Florida. That one's gonna be a fun one. I think just because of the atmosphere there, that vibe's kind of there in Miami now. I think, and that's gonna be a big game. So I'm looking forward to
Just
that one.
just look at this too. This is Miami's last game before that Florida State game. They get a bye week next week, and Florida State they have to play Kent State and Virginia. So Miami wins this. You're looking at probably a top 10 matchup, unbeaten teams in Doak Campbell
Now
Stadium.
that's gonna be
What a
yo.
game!
That's gonna be an environment.
Yeah.
That's worthy of college game day, not this shit that we're gonna be watching on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. If you're still watching, man, we got a couple people watching. Drop your comments if you're watching us on Twitter. Leave your
The
comments.
Twitter X views keep boosting up big
Yeah,
time, but
man.
there's no new
If you're on
comments.
Twitter and you have a question about college football, or you want us to talk about a game that maybe you haven't heard us talk about yet, we'd be more than happy to talk about anything you guys want, man. We're here for you guys, and if you want, share it to all your pages, retweet us, do whatever you got to do. Share us on Facebook groups, all that stuff, man. We're gonna be here for a little while longer. So the next game I want to talk about, Will, I want to talk about one of your favorite teams. There's rumors that you used
Oh,
to be
let
a
me see if we're thinking about the same thing.
there's rumors you used to be a fan of this team. All right.
Ooh,
There is rumors you used to be a fan. All right. I don't know what happened. Some say, you know, you're you're piggybacking off of South Carolina's success now. I didn't say that. That's just what's been told to me. All right. And that's Syracuse going on the road to Clemson this weekend. My
not the
God,
game I was
Will,
thinking of, but that's still interesting.
my God, Will, Clemson needs this win like I need to breathe. Like, oh, this game could not be any bigger for Clemson because Will, if you lose this football game, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we just had a huge rant from Dabo Sweeney talking about how, you know, they've only not won 9 games one time in the last 14 years. And
The
why are we
reporter
held?
asked him like nothing about that, and he just
Can
did
you
that on his own.
Can you believe this man had the nerve, Will, to tell an audience, why are we being looked to a higher standard than other teams across the country? You want to know why you're held to a higher standard, Will? It's because you freaking won. All right.
You
You
set the standard.
you earn the respect. All right. I hold you to a higher standard, Clemson, because Dabo Sweeney holds his team to higher standards. All right. Does Dabo go into the year and be like, oh, I hope we can go 8-4? We can have a good winning season and maybe make it to the Music City Bowl one day. No, you know what the standard is there? It's to go to the playoffs, and not just go to the playoffs. It's to compete for championships, which everybody thought they were going to do at the beginning of the season. So that was the most
Not me.
ridiculous thing I heard all week. I could not believe what I was hearing out of his mouth when he said, "Why are we held to a higher standard?" Bruh, because y'all are a higher standard. I don't compare y'all to Maryland. All right. I don't compare y'all to Appalachian State. Will, I compare you to Alabama, to Georgia, the teams that are competing for championships. You've earned that. Like, that's not a terrible thing. Nobody thinks Clemson is bad, right? People just are wondering why you're not at that top level. And I think that's a relatively simple question to ask. How in the heck do you take a team that returned this much production, had this much potential, and fall flat on your face the first 3 weeks of the season? Will, if they don't win on Saturday, it's going to be bad. To start the season 1-3 after being what, the third ranked team to start the season, it is not going to be good times in Clemson. And I'm telling you, they won't fire him, Will, but I'm telling you, Dabo would not want to be there. I think he's legit tired of hearing people saying how bad they are and how unappreciative they are of like all the success. And I don't think he understands, man. I think Dabo would be a great fit for like Arkansas. So that's my prediction. Bold prediction of the night on Set It Off After Dark. Dabo resigns from Clemson and becomes the new Arkansas football coach. You heard
Well,
it
he
here
did
first.
say he wasn't going to the beach. He was going to continue coaching. And you look at, he's only in his mid 50s. Isn't that when Nick Saban came to Alabama? And look at all the success he had.
That's what
Speaking
I'm
of Nick
saying.
Saban, though,
What
that
we got?
stuff Dabo said about the standard, uh, I would never imagine Nick Saban saying something like that. I've seen this dude up like 40 points in a game with like 15 seconds left, still losing
Ass
his mind
chewing.
because his
Ass
players didn't
chewing
do.
somebody's
Yeah.
behind out on the sideline because they ain't doing what they supposed to do. That's the difference. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Clemson's had tons of success, right? They haven't won a championship since what, 2019? That was 2019.
2018 that
2018,
Trevor
2019
Lawrence.
national championship or whatever. 2020 was the last time they made it to the national championship. It, I mean, my God, Will. I mean, if people have to spell it out that bad for Dabo Sweeney to let him know, like, hey, you know, we're not trying to say that y'all suck. And I thought it was hilarious. Like you said, the dude literally asked him, he said, what is one offensive play that you would like to have back from Saturday's game against Georgia Tech? And this man went on a 15-minute rant about how people don't appreciate him. You know what we need, Will? I need Tyler from Spartanburg. All right, I need Tyler from Spartanburg to light that fire under Dabo's ass again because what we're seeing in Clemson is not acceptable. But let's actually talk about the game. All right, let's not talk about Clemson anymore. Let's talk about the game. This game is like what, 16 and a half now in favor of Clemson, which I
I
thought was
think
a
that's what I'm saying.
crazy number. I thought that was a crazy high number. Um, but yeah, Syracuse at it, Will, if I would have told you before this game started, before the season, that the third ranked passing offense in the country was coming into this game, all right, who would you have thought it was? Oh, that's right. You would have thought it was the senior quarterback in Clemson and all those returning weapons. No, it's my boy Angeli from damn Syracuse coming in there with the nation's number 3 passing offense coming into this football game. We saw Kyle McCord dominate in this offense last year, and it really feels like Syracuse becoming like a quarterback factory at this point.
Real quick, because I did a little Google search and you mentioned Tyler from Spartanburg. Did you know before last season they took away the live calls from his radio shows and now it's text questions only? So
I mean,
maybe
that's
that motivation's what's missing.
rat shit. That's the standard. You know what Nick Saban would do? He'd say, "Hell yeah, call me, tell me to my face. I want to hear you tell me that I'm not doing a good job." Because then he's gonna you're those ass chewings that you're seeing on the sidelines, you're gonna be the victim of that ass chewing. We've seen him do it in the coaches shows before. All right, he's no stranger to that. All right, I love watching old Nick Saban press conferences and him talking to his team through the media, doing the same thing Dabo did, right? Some poor reporter has got to catch these strays, man, because back in the day, Nick Saban would just be waiting. He'd just wait the whole press conference for that one question that was semi close to the topic that he wanted to get through to his team, and that was it. I mean, everybody remembers the Georgia Southern thing. They run through our ass like shit through whatever. I mean, that was all time great. I mean, and the dude literally asked them about like injuries, and my man went on a full rant about how Georgia Southern ran for 300 yards against them in like the 4 years prior, like not even like recently. It was like 4 years prior to that game. So that's the difference. I mean, Dabo and
Yeah,
Nick Saban aren't built the same. Let's be honest.
yeah. But as far as Clemson, like looking at their football season, it's not like it's been that well. The Troy thing was kind of ugly, but
Mm-hmm.
they lost to LSU, who has a really good defense, and they lost by 7 points. They lost on the road to Georgia Tech via a walk-off field goal. Georgia Tech, the AP poll might not believe in them, but I believed in them from the start. I think they're going to go to that ACC championship game. I have them winning the conference. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you need to panic yet, Clemson, but you cannot lose to Syracuse. I think you need to cover against Syracuse, honestly. If you don't win by multiple touchdowns, the fans are going to freak out either way. And if they lose, you're right. He's probably like, I got to get out of here,
Yeah,
find something else,
I
because he
can't. I
ain't
can't
going to
listen to
be
these
able to
reporters
stand it.
asking me why I'm 1-3 anymore. Like, can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, not to turn this into a Clemson show, Will, but man, Clemson has. I mean, obviously they have to win this game. I'm like you; they have to cover this game. But is this going to be the springboard game for them? Because we've seen it. We've seen it in years past where they struggle. You know, they get blown out by a team like Georgia in the opening game, but then they kind of figure it out, and then they go on this dominate run that we kind of all expected from the jump. Is that what this game is for them? Obviously, Vegas thinks so with a 17-point spread. Like I said, I was very shocked to see that. But I mean, man, it just like I said, this is a very important week for Dabo Sweeney and the boys. Maybe a very important week for the Arkansas fans. All right, just that's my prediction. I said it.
Yeah.
You weren't watching. All right, Dabo Sweeney to Arkansas confirmed. Set it off network. Had it here first. All right, and if you're still watching this, all right, we got 56 people on the Tweeterverse watching us right now. If you're on Twitter,
Oh,
ask us questions, man. We need to hear talk about whatever game you want us to talk about. Like if there's a game on the schedule, I mean, heck, if you want us to talk about LSU and Southeastern this weekend, we'll talk about it. Right. And if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, thank you guys for watching, first of all. And make sure you're sharing that into different groups, man. Let us know what you're feeling. All right. Leave your comments. We're here to answer any questions that you guys have. So Will, what's a game on the slate that you feel is underrated? All right, number one, it's got to be underrated, and that could have like potential playoff implications.
playoff implications.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
playoff implications. I got one in mind. Hopefully, you don't steal it.
I gotta look at this schedule. What do we have for? Because we covered most of our playoff teams who play real games. Michigan State at USC, like way after dark. That one might have some
You're missing some
implications.
big. You keep forgetting about the Big 12 teams. Will, it's a huge week in the Big 12. Huge
Okay, can
week.
I just talk about the one I want to talk about, even if I don't think that
Yeah,
they're
let's do
gonna.
it. Let's do it.
Okay, so I do have a Big 12 team here, and I thought you were going this way when you were talking about was a fan of them at one point, because remember how much I was hyping up the UCF Knights, and
Yeah,
they have Big Bill Belichick coming into their building,
UCF's
3:30.
gonna blow them out. Blow.
They're only a 7.5 point favorite.
You say
They've had a
only.
couple. North Carolina's had a couple cupcake games to get things back in the right direction, and
You
maybe
say
it'll be.
only like UCF was like 13th in the Big 12 last year, Will. Like you say
Mm-hmm.
only 7.5, like they weren't like one of the worst teams in the Big 12 last year.
7.5 points doesn't sound like a blowout to me.
Is
That's
that
what
what
I'm
you want to
saying.
talk about? You want to talk about Big Bill for a second? I mean I haven't even thought about this game. I saw it
I
on
haven't
the
really
list,
either, but
but I didn't think this is where you were going. All right. The game I thought you were gonna go, I was gonna give you a layup, man. I was gonna give you a layup. I still can't believe you haven't found it yet. All right. You
wait,
still
wait, wait. Oh, wait. we haven't talked about it because I don't really pay much attention to the Big 12.
That's
Texas
crazy.
Tech, Utah. Is that
No,
a big
that's
one?
not even the game I'm talking about. That's not
Wait,
even the
have we
biggest
talked about
game.
that yet? Because that's a
That's
huge game.
We haven't talked about that. That's where college game day should be, in my opinion. All right. But that's not even the game
Um,
that I was talking about.
you
This is
mentioned Arkansas earlier. They're going to Memphis. That's interesting.
Big
But
12,
I don't
Will.
think
It's Big
Big
12
12.
only. This is a Big 12 show starting
Ooh,
right now.
ooh. We got three-letter schools going at it.
No,
SMU and TCU.
no, no. SMU is not in the Big 12. This is a Big 12 matchup
But
between Big 12
TCU is.
heavyweights.
Okay.
Will,
Wait. This little website here will let me filter, so I'm just gonna look at Big 12 only. Um, Wait a minute. Arizona
7:30
State at
on
Baylor.
Fox. 7:30 on Fox. We have the
Arizona
set.
State at Baylor.
Yes, we have the Set It Off Network's Big 12 champs. All right. In a huge bounce back game after they lost their season opener against. And I mean, Will, honestly, these are two teams that are super desperate for a win. You have Arizona State, who lost to Mississippi State, not ideal for losing to the worst team in the SEC last year. And you're the reigning Big 12 champs there, not really helping the strength of schedule case for the Big 12 as far as getting multiple teams in. But Baylor's in the same boat. Baylor literally lost to Auburn, a team that I thought they should have beat, and they barely escaped SMU also in a crazy game. This one, I think this one's going to be super high scoring. Will, I mean, Baylor doesn't play defense. Baylor is 100% LSU 2023 vibes, and it's tough to watch them when they try to play defense. But Arizona State hasn't really shown you much offensively. But I think this is a huge game. Like I said, I think the winner of this game could end up in the Big 12 championship game, like legit. And then if the loser of this game could finish like bottom tier, like I mean, realistically, could finish bottom tier of the Big 12. Like that's how crazy I think of a swing game this game is. I feel like if both of these teams are undefeated, this would be a lot more talked about. But I just nobody is talking about it. Well, neither one of these teams is ranked. But a big game in Waco. Baylor gets this game at home. I'm going with Baylor. I'm riding them until they prove me until they're not in the Big 12 championship game. I'm riding the Baylor Bears and the Fighting Dave Arandas.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't even know this game was taking place this week. I think
It's
both of those
ridiculous.
teams had kind of fallen off my radar after Arizona State lost to the SEC team that finished last in the conference last year, and then Baylor lost to the SEC team that finished 14th in the conference last year. So after that, I was like, all right, no need to pay any more attention to them. But, as chaotic as the Big 12 conference is, sure, why not? They could both somehow be in that. Not even somehow, they could both be in that conference race before it's all said and done. I'm still a believer that you're gonna need, or you're gonna have your Big 12 champ have at least two losses.
Yeah,
Put it that way.
it's fun, but it is not ideal for the Big 12 because it's fun for us, the consumer, because you get crazy matchups every weekend. Like we said, I mean, we're about to talk about Texas Tech and Utah. Those look like two of the better teams in the Big 12, but I mean, there's still like 5 to 8 teams that can win this league at this point in the season. I mean, there's like up and coming teams like Houston. I mean, who knows? UCF looks good this weekend. Like, what do they look like? I mean, there's just so much going on in the Big 12. It's so hard to keep track of. I don't even fault you for not knowing that this game was even happening. Because, like I said, it's like every weekend you can just go look at the Big 12 slate and be like, wow, that's a very important game in the Big 12 because it's every weekend. I mean, they're the conference that plays everybody, right? They literally, I don't know if they still do that or not. Do they still do that, Will? Where their schedule, they literally have to
No,
play every team?
they've added so many members now.
Oh, they're like the Big 18 up there.
I don't know if it's 18, but they
Uh,
definitely have too many teams to be able to do that round robin. Let me see if I can find that for you. Big 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
but
8,
yeah,
9, 10,
that's the nightcap game. But the big noon prime time game, Will, is like we talked about, is Texas Tech and Utah. And Utah's looks super good. I mean, both of these teams have played high school teams to start off. But oh god, Where did you go, William? This is not good. I fear that this live show is going to take a turn for the worse here. What did you do?
I was just saying hi to Maria. She walked through the door. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just talk about Texas Tech and Utah by my damn
That's the
self.
magic of live TV.
Yeah,
This isn't even
exactly.
TV.
Just get up, just leave whenever. It's all good. We're not doing anything important over here.
I made
Texas
it
Tech,
like
yeah,
55 minutes, though. I did pretty good.
55 minutes without
Yeah,
interrupting
without
the. I
standing
mean,
up
my
or
God, I'm just surprised we haven't had a battery go out, smoke alarms, like you haven't had to take a shit in the middle of the show. Like, I mean, Lord knows we
yeah.
could. For y'all that don't know what goes on behind the scenes and what I personally have to deal with as far as these situations, all right, this is what I have to deal with. All right, well, what really Will has to deal with it because he is the editor. All right, he is the guy that has to go in there and delete all the dumb shit that he does throughout the day, or throughout the show that we record prior to posting. But yeah, this is just a normal thing. So we applaud Will.
Yeah, that one episode had it all. I mean, it had the smoke detector, it had the light going out. It was
I mean,
something.
I get more questions about you, Will, than I get about the
Really?
show. Like I get more questions about like what is wrong with him, you know? Like
What?
why is he the way he is and I can't explain it and I don't know. But I mean,
I
we
don't know. I'm not seeing any questions like that in
no, no,
here.
no,
I'm
they're
still
not.
not seeing any
These are questions
questions.
that are asked to me. They're like, "Hey, I checked out the show, but like what's up with that guy?" And I'm like, "Hey, like he is the entertainment. If you're here for
Well, if they don't
entertainment,
leave the question on the page, was it really a question?
I mean, I got receipts. All right, they all ask. The
Oh.
main question I get asked is why the hell you're in a closet, all right? And I don't have an answer for them, all right, other
What
than
was
what
for
you've
good
told me.
acoustics because
Yes, yes, that's
this
what I tell
room is
people.
where I wanted to do it.
That's what I tell
What?
people, but that's not good enough sometimes. And then
Oh.
last episode, you're freaking outside, you know? So it's like every time we log on to this thing, you show up at the last second before I can yell at you, and then you're just in some random ass location within the confines of your house. I like me, we're set up. Like we have our studio, we have our computer, we have everything that we could need to shoot a podcast. Well, and then there's you who is just like, I'm gonna set up in a closet with my phone and a battery that's gonna die. All right, because I forgot to charge my phone all day, and Michael has to remind me, 2 hours before the show to remind me to charge my phone, so that situation doesn't happen again. Like that is what we kind of deal with you on the show. But we love you, Will. We wouldn't have it any other way. Maybe thankful that you're out of the closet now. That is a miracle in itself. So, we are glad to have you back wherever you are.
I'm just trying out different places. The closet, it
The
was
closet's not
charming
for
for sure.
everybody. People come out of it all the time,
It's a
and
very colorful background.
you can always go back in the closet. You can go in and out of the closet as much as you want,
Yeah,
I think.
I'm not so sure about this location. I'm watching our stream and it's looking very blurry on my end right now. I
Oh,
don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't know. It doesn't look
But hey,
terrible.
I think the people can still hear what I'm saying.
Yeah. I
Right,
mean,
chat?
yeah, I mean, right? So,
No
like,
messages.
if Will, like Will said, if you have any questions at this point, we're gonna wrap things up soon. All right, we're gonna wrap things up here. But honestly, we appreciate you guys for watching. We did this for an hour. A lot of people watching, tuned in. Really appreciate it.
I,
And
I picked Texas Tech since I walked away. Let me just say that. I picked
uh,
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. I think I'm gonna go with Utah. It's hard to pick against Utah when they play at home. But Texas Tech got the most expensive roster in college football, so they got something to prove. There's a lot of people with a lot of money invested in the Texas Tech program, but I don't know, man. I just like Utah. I think their quarterback's really good. I think they played really well. Like I said, it's hard to judge these teams because they played high school teams through the first couple weeks of the season, but You know, it is what it is. It's the big noon kickoff. It's what we're gonna start our Saturday off watching. So I'm excited. I know
Big
Will's
10
excited.
a.m. kickoff in Utah.
Yeah, right. 10 a.m.
Big,
That's
yeah.
awful. That's awful for those people, man. I could not imagine. This is another reason why the East Coast is superior. I mean, it's just always going to be superior. Personally, I think Central Time Zone is the best time zone. All right, because that 1 hour kind of. I mean, when your game starts at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. I mean, that's a big deal. I think personally, you don't have to stay up as late. Your NFL games start at noon. Like, I think the Central Time Zone's elite, and I think a lot of our audience is in the Central Time Zone, being the LSU fan base. But I mean, I think they would agree, right? I mean, everything's based off of Eastern Time Zone, but man, it's hard to not think that the Central Time Zone's the best.
Should we give a shout out to LSU's game this week since there's that LSU audience? You think they're going to
Yeah,
win this
y-
weekend?
yeah, I think they got a good shot. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm a little worried. Gary Nussmeyer's hurt. Last time they played at in-state school, they did not play well at all. This team is significantly worse than at La Tech. Southeastern is going to get their ass whooped on Saturday. I don't think it matters how LSU plays on Saturday. I will throw that out there. If they go out there and they win 50-0, I will not care. If they go out there and win 20-0, I still will not care. If they lose, I will care. All right, but that is the only way I will care. Um, yeah, I don't care about this game, Will. This game is like a bye week. This is a game like, hey, let's score some freaking points. All right, let's get a little thing going offensively. Let's run the freaking football, please. Let's get Garrett Nussmeier out of here injury free. Let's get the whole team out of here injury free, and then let's go whoop Ole Miss's ass next week. All right, because last time we were in Oxford, didn't go well. All right, kind of turned into a shit show. That's when you really realize that 2023 defense was gonna be dog shit. They gave up 700 plus freaking yards of offense that game. Well, all right, the school record for most yards ever given up in a football game by LSU. I'm gonna go out on a limb, Will, and you can hold me to this. I don't think they're gonna give up 700 yards to Ole Miss again. All right, so I like it. I like the chance. I like their chances just based off of the fact that they're not going to give up 700 fucking yards of offense to Ole Miss again. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know what the heck Ole Miss is though. I know we're kind of looking ahead and we're not really talking about Southeastern. I told you I really don't care. Like I said, the biggest thing for LSU, please
Yeah.
God, don't let anybody get hurt this weekend. Get Trades Green healthy, sit him out. Wes Weeks is injured, sit him out. I was in favor of sitting out Garrett Nussmeier once I found out he was freaking injured. You know, that kind of explains why we can't throw the ball past the 20-yard mark in the air. Um, Sit him out this weekend. Let the backup quarterback go beat Southeastern because you're better than them. And then call it a night. Like, just get me to Ole Miss. Get me to Ole Miss without injuries, without any drama. I don't even want to be watching this game in the fourth quarter. Please. Please. That's all I ask. If I'm watching this game in the fourth quarter, it's because I want to watch the young kids. All right. Do you think Southeastern got a chance
All
this
right.
weekend?
Sounds good.
What's the upset meter for you? Upset meter, Southeastern taking on LSU. Any chance?
Uh, I'm going to do a 1.
A one? That's bullshit. It's zero. The answer is zero. LSU could
Is, oh,
have 28 people
so
get
0 is an
COVID.
option. It's not.
28 they have 28 people. Yeah, it's not an option. It's only an option on this very section of it. Like, it 40 people get
Oh,
COVID, they have to bring in like walk-ons on Friday morning from school, all right, and have open tryouts. They still win this game by double digits. That's how confident I am.
yeah. Anything can happen. There's a chance, but it's a very, very, very low chance.
Very, very
About as
low chance.
low of a number as you can give me. Yeah.
All right, all
So
right. Last thing, and then
yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up. All right, who's the what's the big story? Sunday morning comes. All right, we're doing the Set It Off Network live show Saturday night. What in the heck are we talking about? What happened on Saturday that made you say, wow, this is the headline? Who's getting upset? What's the biggest storyline? Give it to me. Paper headline for Sunday morning.
Hmm. I'm looking. I don't know because I'm not expecting anything too crazy except for my delusional beliefs about Purdue.
That's
So I
exactly
just
what
double down on that.
that's exactly what college football wants you to say. All right, because you know
All
it's going to
right.
be crazy.
Major Purdue coming out party. Notre Dame is freaking out after losing that game. And then everyone's gonna be like, well, Purdue, they're 3-1, but Will was right.
All
If
right,
they beat
Purdue.
Notre Dame, people will believe.
I could have bet $100 that you were going to mention Purdue in the upset market today. My headline is going to be Michigan State upsets outright USC. All right, I
That's
seen
a
the
good
most
one.
I seen the most embarrassing thing I've seen in a long time. All right, it was USC was literally putting out a flyer to like get people to come to the game. It's embarrassing.
Mm.
It's embarrassing that a program as proud and traditional as USC football is, all right, that they have to do stuff like that to fill up the Coliseum. And you know what's going to fill up the Coliseum? Michigan State. Michigan State is going into Los Angeles. All right, they're going across the country and they're going to play an 11 p.m. Eastern time football game on Fox, and nobody is going to be awake to watch it, but I am. All right, you know why? Because we don't care. We it's college football season, son, and it's not the Pac-12 anymore, but this is Pac-12 after dark at its finest, and we are here for
Tell
it.
me, tell me, we're not gonna be waiting until that game ends to
No.
start our
We're gonna
live
be
show, right?
watching you, but they're gonna get if you're gonna check it. First of all, if you're watching this, we are gonna go live after one of the games on probably the I would say Miami, Florida, right? I mean that's the big 7:30 game.
Yeah, that
After
or
the
the Illinois,
7:30 window,
Indiana, Carolina, Missouri.
around that
Whenever
time,
that's over, yeah.
Illinois, Indiana, 7:30 also. So around that 10:30 to 11 o'clock range, we're going to be going live on Saturday night, and we're going to be kind of recapping what's going on throughout the day. So you might get our live reaction to USC losing to Michigan State because I'll have it up. I'll be
Yeah,
watching.
I'll put that game on in the background while we're doing it for sure.
But no, but guys, seriously, we appreciate you guys. This was super fun. I had a great time. I think Will had a good time, even though he left us in the middle of the show to go do whatever he needed to go do. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're not already, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff. We're going to be posting updates. That's how you can find us. And when we're going to go live, because we're always posting stuff, we're going to be letting you guys know in advance when we're going to be posting shows and doing things live and maybe even recording different things throughout the week. Just so many different platforms to find us on. You can find us on any of them. But for real, guys, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you guys on Saturday night.